and welcome to my video tutorial. My name is Julie Kettlewell and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in the UK. And today I'm going to share with you this lovely, I think it's a triangular trifold card, which I got the idea from a German demonstrator who made a Christmas card. I will put a link on my blog. And I've adapted it. We made it in a fancy fold class in another set that I use, but I've adapted it to use with the Free as a Bird stamp set in the Bird Ballad Suite that's live on the 4th of June. And so yeah, so this is the card we're going to make, and I don't really want to untie the bow, but I'm gonna. So obviously it sort of stands up. It's sort of portrait when you look at it, that's what I'm trying to say. And then when you open it, I'm going to go landscape, and your sentiment still stays that way. Okay, so that's the little action. All right, so let's crack on now. Today it is in inches. The project's in inches, and I'm going to start with 2 pieces of petal pink card, and they are 10 1/4 by 4 inches, so that's times 2. Now you can get these 2 from a sheet of A4 if you're in Europe. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to score them at 5 1/2, both of them at 5 1/2. Okay, I've already done that. Right, are you with me? I hope you're with me still. And then what we're going to do, and I have already done this, but I'm going to do it again for the purpose of this video. Whoopsie, I've just moved everything. And on the short end, so what I mean by the short end is when you've scored that at 5 1/2, you've got one piece that's narrower than the other. So with the narrow end to the left, I want you to put it on the 4-inch point, and then where the groove is, can you see I've made a pencil? Well, you can't even see, it would help if I move the trimmer down a little bit. I've made a pencil mark there, okay? And I'm going to do that on the second piece. So I've made a little pencil mark, okay? Oh, there's something sticky on the bottom of that, and now everything's gone askew. So let's just tidy that up. So what we're going to do now is, you've got your 2 pieces there with your pencil marks on. We're actually going to flip one that way. So we're going to turn it the opposite way. We're going to flip it over. So now, ignore that, the pencil mark is down there, okay? What we're going to do, we're going to score these from the pencil mark to the left-hand side. So, and this one from the pencil mark to the top, so they're both facing in the right direction, in the same direction. So hopefully this will make sense. So you're going to take, for the bottom one, you're going to take it from the pencil mark and you're going to score to the top right. If you're not feeling confident, you can do draw it with a pencil first and then rub it out. So that one, the bottom one that had the pencil there, has gone that way. And then this one, we're going to go pencil from the top to the bottom corner. Okay. So what we have now are our 2 pieces, and we've got them scored, okay? We're going to actually glue these centre pieces together, okay? So they are going to glue together. And I've got a rogue pencil mark there that I did wrong before I've done this video. So I'll get my glue. In effect, your back piece then, the back part will be it'll be double thickness. Okay. And then these are going to fold back like that. So they're going to come in. Oh, I've got marks on that. I think that's from that trimmer. So they're going to come in like so. Okay. Right, so we've now got our basic shape and we're going to do some decorating. So we're going to pop a piece in the middle. Now I'm not going to spend time colouring this because my recent video was on colouring techniques. So you've got a piece in the middle, Whisper White, that is 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. And I will stamp that, and I'm showing you how I've stamped it with the bird and I've coloured that in, okay? I want to keep the video a bit shorter. And that's quite easy to do, that piece. It's the other pieces that are a little bit trickier. And I've realised that I forgot to cut some Whisper White out. So to decorate the front, we're going to take a piece of DSP. That's 3 1/2 by 3 1/2 inches. And we're going to cut it in half, okay, on a diagonal to make 2 triangles. And then, I'm just reaching for some scraps, we are going to take another piece of Whisper White and we're going to cut it, when I've got some card, we're going to cut it at 3 3/4 square. Okay, and then we're going to cut that. That doesn't look right. No, that's 4. We're going to cut that in half on a diagonal as well. Okay. Julie should have got that prepared. Okay, so they are then going to adhere together like that. So we've got 3 1/2 for your paper and 3 1/4. No, 3 3/4 for your white card. I'm having a bit of a problem, I think, with my numbers and organisation this morning. So we've got that one. Okay, so there we have our paper adhered on. Now, to do these inside bits, and I've got a right mess there, I don't know where that's come from. It's a little bit trickier, and what we're going to do is, I'm not doing a white layer in the background. I'm going to just, if you just look here, I've not got a white layer on it. So I'm going to take 2 pieces of coordinating paper that are 3 3/4 by 4 1/4. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop them on here on my filthy piece of cardstock. And I'm going to measure, I'm going to put a little dot where I want to cut it. I'm going to make sure I've got an equal border. Okay, so I'll pop that one like that. And then here I'm going to measure, that's actually in the corner really. Okay, so I'm going to cut those down now. So you will end up with a little bit of leftover paper from this. So you're going to cut on an angle. Now a little tip, I find it easier to cut from when I'm cutting anything on an angle, I find it easier to, especially paper, because it can bunch up if you start to cut from the bottom. If you cut from the middle and go outwards, it doesn't sort of bunch up and crease all your paper. Okie dokie. So I have die cut a thank you sentiment. Now, I haven't even shown you the stamp set, have I? Which I should do. So it's the Free as a Bird stamp set of 12 stamps, available from the 4th of June. And I've also used the stitched nested labels dies. That's some of them. There are a set of 9 dies, and I've used this one for the thank you. So they do the inside stitched and then the outside piece. And then I've also used 2 other ones for the front, but I'm going to show you a trick with those. So I've pre-stamped the thank you. I'm going to stick that down there. And what you can see is it's the right way there, and it remains the right way. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I've done this, because if you can see, It's not the shape that they started out. The reason why I didn't want it to be a point, because it's sort of, the point gets in the way of the ribbon when it's round the card, if that makes sense. My ribbon's all askew. So the point sort of gets in the way of the ribbon, and I wanted, but I love the shape of them for other projects. So what I've done is I've cut them out, and then I've gone back in with the big shot, and I'm going to show you that now. So I'll do some more. I hope you can see this. Yeah. It's just a little trick that I've done. Can probably do both at once. So you pop them in. You can't really see that, can you? You'll get the gist from me doing one. And then you line, in fact, let's just do one so you can see it, because I don't really want to do 4 on the video. You line the die, you look where the shape changes, and you line the die up like that. Pop your plate back on top. I think that moved, but never mind, you look at the idea. And what you do is, yeah, it did move. I've created a nice little shape actually. It changes the shape. It takes the triangular piece off. So let's try and do another one and make it the same. This could be fun. Okay, there we go. So there I've got a different shaped piece, and I would do that again with the blue one, with the pool party one. Okay, so I've got that piece, and I would have my other rectangle piece in pool party, and I'm just going to finish with a little bit of stamping and colouring to show you what I've done with the birds. Please do refer to my recent colouring with blends video. We're using a Memento ink, and we're on Thick Whisper White. And I'm only using part of the stamp by having the whole thing. This is a cling stamp, so I'm going to use the right hand side of it. And there we go. So we have 3 of the birds on there. And I'm going to show you a little bit of colouring. Now, the parts of this are quite a small image, so don't waste time blending. So I'll go through the colours with you as I colour. Crumb Cake Light. I'm literally going with the fine end. Calypso Coral Dark. And I just like to go over if you can see, there's some shaded bits. Let the image help you. Okay, so that was Calypso Coral Dark. Then I'm going to take the light Calypso Coral. I'm going to go over and blend that. In fact, I'm probably going to use the thinner end, because I think, yeah, the brush is great for spreading the ink, but the thin end is good for sort of getting right in there and blending, going over the darker colour quite firmly and blending the colour out, or in, whichever way you're going. Okay, so that's Calypso Coral. And then what I do for the leaves, I don't spend too much time. I'm just taking dark Old Olive and going down the vein of the leaf in the middle, like so, quite quickly. And then I just go over. let's have some dark pool party flowers. And then finally, what I do, if you can see, I go round with a pail, with a really light pool party, with a brush end. And because this is so light, you probably don't even need to use, I showed you this on my other video, but it's really, really light, this one. Lighter than the balmy blue that I used on my other video. So I'm going around the outside of all of the images just to make it pop. Like so. You can even go in the middle there where the bird's legs. You can leave it like that. Or you can take the colour lifter and just blend it out a little bit. Okay, just to make it even paler. But I think it's fine as it is. So that would then adhere onto here. Oh, it looks quite nice with that shape around there, doesn't it? Wowzers, I quite like that. Should we try that? Let's go for that. Let's do it. Okay, so when we're gluing on, we have to be mindful that we're only going to glue partial piece, because some of it's not glued down. And then I'm going to take some foam pads, dimensionals. As I showed you on my other video, you do get the colour bleeding through the cardstock when you've been using the blends, and that is really normal. And I'm going to pop that on there, like so. Ooh. And then I've not even got my ribbon to hand. So, let's take some new lace trim. You see, it's like it's meant to be in using this. Oh, I've done it wrong. I've glued this down and you're supposed to put your trim round. Oh, Julie. Oops, that will have to go on the bloopers. Right, I always tell my ladies in class, don't put your ribbon, don't look at that. Don't put your ribbon down until you've glued your thing down. And guess what? I've just done it because I'm trying to rush to finish this video. So let's tie this round. How funny. I think this is probably my worst video ever. I'm all stuck up now because I've got that glue everywhere. Now you might have seen there that I tied my bows upside down, and I find that it just sort of works better when I tie them upside down. Now if you think I was too fast tying that, I do have a video on bow tying as well. Look at that, I've ripped all that. No one will know, don't tell anyone. No one needs to know, just between us. So I'm going to glue that on there. What a disaster. I'm going to glue that on there. And there we have our finished card. Okay, let's show the other one because that was a little bit nicer because I wasn't rushing when I made this one. There we have our triangular trifold card. Well, thank you for watching and I'll see you soon. Bye.